there. If you are on LinkedIn and you use LinkedIn heavily, you can uh, follow that me. Excuse me, follow me as well on there. It's Shunquetta Cunningham, and the information is on there. So multiple ways um, to connect and to register for the workshop. And again, if you have a nonprofit, if you're working with a nonprofit, or if you are a board member, I really want to speak to the board members as well, that when you
Okay.
sign up to be a board member of an organization, of a nonprofit, your presence is not enough. Your presence is not the gift. The gift is you utilizing your talents and your skills, and your commitment to ensure that the nonprofit is fiscally sound, that it executes its programs. Is not just for you simply to go to the meeting, expect the report, the monthly report, and feel like the one all and done all. And I can freely say that because I'm not the executive director, but I promise you, I hear it, so I'm going to say it. But it takes more than you just showing up. And I recognize people like, well, my time is the gift, so I'm here. It's not enough. It's not enough when nonprofit organizations are having to cannot execute their programs fully because they don't have the funding to do so. And so this workshop was intentionally designed. That's why it's priced at the point to where I want you to get with your team members, get with your board members, and attend the workshop. Because again, board members have a responsibility to ensure fiscal soundness of the nonprofit organization. If you are on a board and your board and your nonprofit organization, excuse me, has been in the red for years and years, impact is not being made.
Okay.
Things are occurring, but impact is not being made. And so we just have to shift that.
Okay. We have a question from Mr. Henry Burrell. He says, is it best to do your workshop after the formation of a 501c3 or during the structure of the organization?
Is it best to do the
So
to
I guess if someone is just beginning to put an organization together, should they attend the workshop or should they wait till after everything is in place?
Oh, okay, great question. Thank you. No, you can attend right now because one of the things, again, $3,000. It's every dollar counts, but it's
Mhm.
not those tens of thousands of dollars, that you will be able to access, upon you receiving your exemption status. But what this also can do is can serve as starter funds for your organization. So if you attend the workshop on tonight and you are, because it costs to work with the consultant, it costs to file, you have filing fees and different things, it costs to get your website. So all of that has an expense. And so this $3,000 can help you. And I can also, if you would like to just directly message me and also show you how to frame that to where it's more now of an ask from a nonprofit startup, whether, and you don't have to, have a false narrative that you are a nonprofit. You could be very honest and say, hey, this is the great work that we are going to do in the community. And so while this, your seed funds are not tax deductible right now, it just goes into the greater work, and that process can still happen. They can receive the letter after all of that good stuff. But this $3,000 can definitely serve as startup funds for your organization.
Okay. I want to go back a little bit. You mentioned that, you utilize LinkedIn, as does many corporations. Suggest that product, I don't want to say product, that app, that feature program um, more than they probably do in order to reach a wide audience of people who will be more willing to donate.
Yeah. And if I have a delay, I'm sorry, because I think there's a delay. So if there's a shortness on my end with that. Um, but with LinkedIn, what I've come to discover is that it's indeed the professional site as it was purposed to be. And so often we are looking to sometimes do a lot of professional businesses on other apps to where we've been more engaging on a friendly level. And so then we become irritated because the same people that we've been joking with on Facebook or other, and other social apps are not taking us as serious or supporting, but that's because the platform has been set and people will treat you where they meet you. And so if, utilizing other sites such as LinkedIn, where it has a more professional nature and you can strategically connect with people and other peers who are looking to, this site is purely for that professional level. I think it's so great if you are a business person, nonprofit leader, community leader, to utilize LinkedIn for professional purposes. It does yield results.
All right. So again, tonight the workshop is at 5:30 p.m.
Yes. Right after work, you can grab your bite to
All
eat.
right. So please, all right. Look, you don't want to miss this. This is the time to get your money up. Yes, you have a heart to serve your community, but you still need operating funds as well.
Yes. And may I add something to that? So
Hmm.
with a nonprofit organization, I think sometimes there's a lot of confusion on um, the amount of money that your nonprofit should draw in. I don't, and sometimes raising money is really a mindset issue, and we don't have that much time to dive into that context. But it really is just really, you're trying to grow six figures, but we can't get the six inches in our head to cooperate with what we need to do. When you have a nonprofit organization, the task is that you serve your community, but you have to be structured. And with that, you have to have finances. You have to raise funds. I know that, especially with a lot of grassroots organizations or faith-based entities, we kind of have the mindset, well, since we've started, the people are going to come, but you have to show your results. You have to actually show that you are doing. It's not enough to say you have a nonprofit. On the other end of the conversation, you should not lead with your need. Yes, I know you have a nonprofit organization. I know you need vans. I know you desire a building, but um, you're not even doing the basics of, just communicating with people of the outcomes that's going to occur with your organization, with your nonprofit. And so, people all the time call me and want to start a mentoring center. They want to open up a homeless shelter. I get all of that, but let's start with the basics first of structure, and then let's start with some programming, and just to build. And I tell people all the time, if you get a grant or if you get someone to sponsor your entire effort and you put no work in, I promise you it's going to be hard for you to sustain it because you haven't worked hard to obtain it. So that's why it's so crucial that you're thinking about starting a nonprofit organization, or if you are in the trenches right now, let's start thinking more business minded and just know that, again, you're a business with a heart.
Okay. So again, we hope that everyone shares this message with anyone else that has a nonprofit or that is considering starting a nonprofit, or if their nonprofit is kind of lacking or slacking, I should say, in the service they're providing because they feel they don't have the funds. You need to be a part of this workshop so that you can learn some tips. How can I say? Oh
Yeah,
Lord.
all of that you need. And the thing is it's not that people don't feel we, especially just talking to the audience that we have here, it's you they don't, the our nonprofit organizations, our smaller nonprofit organizations, a lot of our minority nonprofit organizations do not have the funds. They do not have the structure. We keep recycling the same board members, and there's just some truth that we have to speak in order for us to get to the next level. And so I'm encouraging you, if there, just start somewhere. And this workshop, unshameless plug, but this workshop is a great avenue to say, hey, we really haven't been doing well with our fundraising. We raise a couple of $100s here and there, but just start here at the workshop, and I can teach you how to think strategically about a funding plan, because it's not enough to just have a fundraiser, but there should be a why to your ask. So you're going to raise the money, and then what are you going to delegate that money for? And I think that's why it's hard for a lot of people to have conversations, because it's like, I want to ask for money, but I don't know how to ask and then tell people that this is what you're investing in. You're not investing in us for our nonprofit to get a van. You're investing in us to be able to help seniors, easily get around the community more efficiently and safely, and we provide that service. So there's a difference in the ask. And so this is
Okay.
why it's important to sign up for workshops, like these, because this is what I'm purposed to do. I'm purposed to help nonprofit leaders, small business leaders. This is what I'm purposed to do, to help you strategically think about what you need, and then how to get what you need, and then how to, make the impact with what you get.
Okay. Well, I really hope that everyone listening is uh, signing up, is sharing. Well, finish listening to the interview first, but then go sign up and share this message with everyone else that you know. It's time out for us. I'm just gonna speak on Jonesboro. It's time out for us to be lackluster in our service. There are so many needs in our community, and there's no reason that these needs are not getting met. And I'm speaking from homelessness to teen issues to addiction issues. I do know, yes, there are certain entities in place, but from my perspective and from my research, I'm just not seeing what we really could be doing as a community happening. Um, no one should be sleeping on the streets. And I'm not going to get on that soapbox today. But anyway, that's another story. But there are other issues in our city that need addressing, um, that I just don't see it. And I really hope that people get some fire under them, for lack of a better word, and start serving our community. So
Yeah,
we're gonna.
we definitely have. I think the great thing about Jonesboro is that there are it's a giving community, and I will definitely say that, because I work with other clients in other areas, and they pray that their community would be the type of community Jonesboro is when it comes down to giving. Now, when it comes down to the lack of services in totality that's needed, um, Jonesboro does have some work to do, because a part of Jonesboro is still trying to hold on to some traditional culture, traditional leadership.
Mhm.
And so to scale that, even when it comes down to various businesses, I mean, this is why, the community can be excited for another restaurant coming, but oppose, group homes being, formed. There's a lot to that. And so, but, if you have the passion to do it, you can easily do it. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, we're going to put a pause there because we're
Oh,
getting a break. But we're going to definitely continue some of the conversation. So those of you listening on air, jump on Facebook so you can get the rest of this conversation. But we do want you to go and register for this workshop tonight. But please stay tuned, and we'll be right back after these announcements. Okay, so I just didn't want you to get cut off from what
okay.
you were
Gotcha.
saying, but and I'm trying to hold my peace, like, and I know that there are people out there doing work. I'm not trying to take away from anything that
Oh, yeah.
anyone is trying to do, but it just the things that I see, up and down Facebook. Like, okay, there was a lady, she used to live here. She lives in another community now, but she made a post about someone who needed some simple help with utilities and groceries. And I'm not saying that, okay, oh, I'm trying to be nice about Look, there
Oh,
should be
because
a
we still live,
service.
huh? Because me, I'm like, just talk, but I forgot we're still live. So for the people would be good.
I
So
mean,
I'm glad I looked at that red button.
Legacy gives me, some freedom, but I still like to be respectful of others that, I don't want to make them feel like I don't appreciate the work they're doing. But again, there just should be a few more resources available
There
for some
has to
people.
be. No, it's not should. I mean, it just has to happen. I think one of again, when I talk about the traditional culture of Jonesboro, that there's still a mindset too in this community that we can go to other communities. We can enjoy all of the amenities, all of the services, and just be in awe of the structure of other, the communities that we use in our own case studies when we're trying to do something in Jonesboro, Nashville, and, in Oxford. And, we have all these cities. But then when it comes down to actually implementing permanently those same structures from their cities, then there comes a backlash. That's why I said earlier, I used to work for the city of Jonesboro and in planning, to where, again, people are happy to see a restaurant, but open up a group home right in the middle of a neighborhood. It's like, wait a minute, these people, that's when you start hearing this terminology, these people. And so it's some work that has to be done for sure. But if it's on your heart, usually that means that you are called to have a voice in that. And that may not necessarily be a nonprofit. It could be, again, you have a communication platform. I think you using your voice and continuing to raise that awareness will ignite that fire with someone who say, you know what, it's time. It's time for me to have a service-based nonprofit to where I can help, young mothers with utilities and things, and as
Yes.
well. So, and then two, also be a resource, because I know with Mr. Tony Thomas, my mentor, everyone knows Tony Thomas, but
You got 30 seconds.
yeah, but he's on CRDC. He is the executive director of CRDC, and so they aid with that. And I think it's just about connecting people to the resources they need.
That's it.
Yeah.
And that's where my passion lies, is being that bridge and
Yeah.
helping people connect. We've talked about this a lot, before, but
Mm-hmm.
we're getting ready to go back on air, so I'm gonna hold that thought.
All righty.
Okay, y'all. So thank you everybody for watching. Here we go. Welcome back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. I'm your host, Quabila Jones, with my very special guest, Mrs. Shunquetta Cunningham of the Charis Group. And so you can still find her on Facebook under Charis Grants and Services. In the first part of the show, we talked about a workshop coming up tonight for nonprofit organizations. So please go to our page. I posted the flyer, and go to Charis Grants and Services and find the flyer and the link so you can register for that event. Get your team together. Don't miss out on this valuable information that can help you grow your revenue in up to $3,000 in as little as 2 weeks. So it's doable.
Mm-hmm.
Shunquetta has the
I
numbers.
already have customers. I'm sorry, I think that's my delay. I interrupted you, I think. And I already have testimonies of people that attended the workshop last Friday. So this is the round 2 of the workshop, because it was so well received, and other people wanted to sign up for this for it again. So that's why I'm doing a part 2 on this Friday. And so I'm already having testimonies of people saying, hey, we took, the idea number 1, and we're already, at $500. And so it's just about you. I give you the blueprint. It's really simple, but sometimes when you're in the thick of things, it's just hard to think for yourselves. And I get it. And that's where I come in as a strategist. And so I really do encourage you to register at www.consultkharis.com under workshops and events, and register for the workshop. It will really help you if you have not had a fundraiser or have had successful fundraisers this year.
All right. So I want to switch gears and talk about Over a Cup. If you have not heard about Over a Cup, I don't know where you've been. Shunquetta hosts these monthly meetings with Black female entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs, or whoever you are, wherever you are, if you just want to learn from other people and what they're doing. So let's talk about how Over a Cup got started, the vision for that, and then what event are you hosting through that organization?
Awesome. Thank you for that. So Over a Cup was started in January 2018. It is a platform for minority women entrepreneurs, particularly Black women entrepreneurs. If you're from season to just, I'm thinking about a business concept. And we get together every fourth Saturday at 9 a.m. Of course, now it's been virtual, but it's an intentional space for us to come together, to network, to support one another. But beyond that, it's not just networking, it's really giving and exchanging valuable content and resources for us to scale our businesses. Because it's not enough um, for us to just say we have a business. What really propelled me to start Over a Cup is, yes, for one, the unction of God. They're like, hey, this is what you're supposed to do. But He was leading me to research, and I looked at the census data. So under the census data, they have where they have a marker, and they're gauging the strength of entrepreneurship, and they have it broken out. And when it comes down to the line where it was talking about women entrepreneurs, Black women entrepreneurs, well, of course they said African American, it had it wasn't notated with any marker. And the marker was, though, that there was no significant value to add to the census, meaning that collectively we didn't have any economic strength in our community to add value to the census data. So that's telling. And it's telling because it's, for one, we're as collectively, there's some untruths going on. We're saying we're business owners, but we're not being profitable. And we're saying we're business owners, but we're really not making the funds that we need to sustain our businesses, and to support our families. And that's okay to just be honest with those truths. I had to be honest. And so I was like, there's no network, and there was no intentional community in the city of Jonesboro that was speaking to that. And so hence we have Over a Cup, and we're still going to this day. So that's the start of Over a Cup.
That's wonderful. And I've had the opportunity to join some of the sessions via virtual. And I must say, the atmosphere, the back and forth camaraderie among the women is just so refreshing. It's not as intimidating as I thought it would be, because at first I was like, I don't know if that's a space for me. I don't know what I have to offer. I don't have anything to bring, I was doubting myself. And then once I came, I was like, okay, these women are just like me. They're down to earth. And so
Yes.
it was a really wonderful experience. And I know I've been
Yes.
slacking. Life has been happening, but I'm sorry.
You definitely have.
But
I'm so glad you said it, because I was going to go there. But yeah. But
yes,
yeah,
I'm
I
sorry.
think that's one of the things too, that if we are going to really impact our communities, and we're really going to be change agents, that we have to get up off of information. And so another reason why starting Over a Cup, because I knew I had the privilege of going back and forth to Little Rock, being around certain people, and I'm loving the space that was created for Little Rock and just certain areas. And I'm like, I want that here. And there is no reason why we should be withholding content, withholding marketing strategies, withholding business opportunities. If you follow Over a Cup, or if you're in Over a Cup, or you're in our private group, we're exchanging tips and grants, upholding grants. We just had 2 recipients of from our Over a Cup group that were awarded Facebook grants, Ms. Candace Kirkwood and Ms. Quinta Borders. And so, we just, that's the purpose of it, to be able to exchange information, and then too, that's where I give information for free, because I need to put that out there, because people will call, and say, hey, I need help with this grant. Come to the free platform. Like, that's Over a Cup. That's the monthly meetings. Because after that, during the regular 9 to 5, that's consultation. So
Yeah,
I'm
pay
just
for
putting that
that.
out there, because, I'm pretty sure I get an inbox or 2 from this conversation. So, take the advantage of, again, being with women. And then 2, we are breaking down the walls of saying, women cannot work together. No, I just believe that it's the purpose of your gathering. If you're just gathering to gather and there's no meaning behind it, yeah, that's where conflict and chaos and stuff happens, because there's no impact. But if you're coming to create
Yes,
intentional
ma'am.
spaces like with Over a Cup, where we're talking business. And honestly, with us, we're going to talk business, spirituality. We really can't escape talking about God because we are kingdom entrepreneurs. And so, it's just it's a great opportunity, and which why it led me to do the upcoming event on Tuesday. Uh, so with the OAC showcase Over a Cup, again, creating intentional spaces to where using the influence of Over a Cup, using whatever leverage I have in the community to say, hey, these are some great women businesses, and we're businesses that are owned by Black people, but we're not Black businesses.
Okay.
That's a difference, and I just wanted to get that out. And so we have to be able to share
Understand.
that.
I'm glad you brought that up. I first want to say good morning to my sister, Gwen Henderson, checking in from Arizona. Thank you so much. Her and I have had many conversations about nonprofits and businesses. And so hopefully we get to collaborate some more after this interview. But I'm glad you brought up um, the difference between a Black owned business and a business run by a Black person. Do you feel that it's time, I probably know the answer, to change the narrative? Because you don't hear a white owned business, you don't hear Hispanic owned, you just hear a business run by, or just a business. So do you think we need to change the narrative?
So okay, give me the wisdom to answer this. Not the titles of being Black owned right now is advantageous
Okay.
right now because there are grant opportunities, there are spaces and applications for Black businesses due to past discriminatory measures. And so it's an opportunity to leverage that uniqueness of being, woman owned and being Black owned in this space. What we need to do internally as African American business owners is to look beyond our own population to get customers. Yes, I'm a Black woman that owns a business, but my clients are not just Black and they're not just women, and I don't want it to be.
Okay.
If now not all money is good money, but of course, if you're the right client that's in alignment with the mission and the purpose that I have to develop and train and strategize for nonprofit and for-profit leaders, and and our purpose is aligned, then you're my customer. You're my ideal customer. And I'm not going to close, well, we're in COVID, so I'm not going to hang up the phone just because, it's like, okay, well, this person is of another race or another gender. And I think that's where we have to get to. So, utilize and maximize every opportunity. If there's allocations being made because we deserve it, because of the hardships and that was placed on our ancestors, and why it's been such it's hard for us to grow our businesses. There's a reason for that. So we can keep that, but internally know that we need to look beyond for more customers.
Okay. We have a comment from Miss Linda Johnson Frazier. She says, I just would like to say I've been introduced to more of what's going on, not only just the Jonesboro community, but other communities from being a loyal listener to Kelly K with different people appearing. This is great information. Well, thank you, Miss
Awesome.
Linda.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
that's the whole purpose of community conversations, is bringing guests on that have information that is valuable to everyone, well, hopefully everyone. And that even if you can't use it, you may know someone else who can use this information. For all of the men out there listening, share this information with all the women in your life, so they can sign up for, well, they can attend the Over a Cup sessions once a month. So if they have a nonprofit, they can go to the workshop that's happening tonight. They can take advantage of these valuable networking resources to increase their revenue, to increase just increase your contact list. if nothing else, you have someone else you can reach out to.
Yes. Yes. And you know what? And I'm glad you said that. So, I mean, I do really want to, just in case I have to hit on it, you all, if you would like for if you're a business owner, a woman business owner, and you would like for your product to be showcased with the OSC showcase, please direct message me and I will give you the next steps. Or you can go to Facebook and follow the Over a Cup page, and there you will see how to submit your information so I can receive your product. And that's going to occur this Tuesday
Okay.
at 6:30 p.m. So I just want to make sure I get that out, get out there. But going back to what you were saying about increasing your network, it's called social capital. And so, what we're going to
Okay.
have to learn to do as well is to know that there is not only monetary value, but there is value in who you know. And that's why we're going to have to get beyond our comfort zone. And, if you just want to attend over a cup and just sit there in the meeting, if you don't have to come and feel like you have this big old speech, I'm hearing a child, or anything, just come and just again increasing your social capital. It's really I promise you there's leverage in that. So that's also why it's important for everyone, not everyone, but if you are inclined to, don't be intimidated. As Quabila told you, I promise you we are down to earth. I mean, seriously, it's 9 o'clock in the morning, we have scarves on, you know coffee. It's just, I mean, and because that's the intentionality of it. And two, that's and it will always be the intentionality of it. No one can ever come into that space with anything other than, wanting to grow and learn together. That's because that's how it was
Awesome.
founded, and that's how it will remain.
Yesterday I had a conversation for anyone who missed out on singer finances and relationships, not just intimate relationships, but interpersonal relationships. And, I mentioned that there were times that I almost let my ego get in the way of me making connections, very valuable connections with people. I was looking at them through my lens and from my limited perspective, because I didn't know the full story of how they got to where they are. And so
Mm,
I was looking at it as, oh, they're stuck up, they're bougie, you know, and it was from my limited egotistical perspective, you know. But once I
mm.
removed that lens, I'm like, they really have something that I can benefit from. Let me get out my feelings and be a grown up and receive what they're trying to give me, you know. So can you speak on that aspect?
Yeah, we honestly, we all need, you never stop learning. And every woman that's connected with Over a Cup, every woman has value. Every woman brings value and brings some sort of impact, some sort of whether it's inspirational, whether it's strategy, whether they're good at marketing. And so all of that is put together. I think where we have to get to is recognize that we have strengths, and then God places you with a body of people that can elevate the weak areas that you have, because we all have them. I'm a visionary, so I think, I'm already building like the London Tower. Like it's already built. But people like you and people like Angela that comes, to Over a Cup, you all, help me take it back. Like, listen, can we just start, can we just get the dirt out the ground first, Shunquetta? And you all bring me back to that. And that's what you need. And so, and that's the other thing, that even the personal relationships that develop, you have people now that people not just to refer their businesses, but then you're also developing relationships with just different people within. And again, that's what it's going to take for us to really build our businesses. Your net work do determines your net worth. So start placing yourself strategically with people that have the same desires. And that's, for us, we're kingdom entrepreneurs. So we recognize we do business with God, we're led by God, and then we do the work of our businesses with strategy, structure, and in community with one another.
Wow, I like that. Do you have that on a a little card somewhere? Like we
I
need to.
don't,
I
but
need
let
to.
me say that it felt good to my spirit too. I'm gonna say that.
Please do. Yes, I need to put that somewhere where I can see it every day. Yes,
Go back and
ma'am.
watch that. That just flowed. This is I have to go back and watch
We
this.
we have a few more comments I want to get in. Mr. Jerry Lee Walker, the third says, "This is good. Let there be light." Mr. Larry McKissick says, "Was listening to y'all on the radio. Had to jump on and say thanks for these nuggets that's been shared coming from a man." Thank you, Mr. Larry.
Thank you.
Um, I met
Appreciate
him
that.
several years ago by way of another organization, and so he and that other gentleman, they've been doing some great work, and I really need to catch up. Look, okay, all these people that I need to catch up with, I'm happy they are checking in, because I really want to elevate the conversations on community conversations. I want them to be purposeful, meaningful, and impactful. It's time to elevate our community. It's time for me to use my voice to help
Mm-hmm.
elevate our
Mm-hmm.
community. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
putting my.
You are doing that. I think too. Don't be so hard on yourself. It's not as time you are. Whether you are now asking yourself, how do I take that to another level? That's the question. But you're already doing the work. So don't discredit that. You're doing that work.
Thank, well,
Yes.
thank you. And it's thanks that, people like you, and again, over a cup, and how you bring other women together, minority women together, because sometimes we need a space that's safe for us. We need a space where other women get it. Um, and
Mm-hmm.
we could just be ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then too, to be able to share, because what also is happening with Overcup, like right now, we're discussing about how to ensure that our businesses are certified so that we can start doing business with the government and getting contracts and just different things. Those are conversations that other people are not having, just like, on a normal, or they tell you, right? You're because you're
Yeah.
not in that circle. And so that's why it's important. We're growing together. Oh,
All
I saw
right.
your
So
hand.
we're getting ready for another break. So I hate to cut you off because we always have such a great conversation, but we're going to continue on. So I just want to say thank you to everyone that's listening. If you want to join in the rest of the conversation, please jump on Facebook, but we will be back on air in a few moments after these announcements. All right. So look, I always enjoy our conversations, and I'm always convicted, but in a good way. I don't need to elevate. God has just this past week, God has shown me Him.
Mm,
I can't even, I can't tell it all right now, but God has shown me Him, and it's because I have matured in my spiritual relationship and connection, and I again set my ego to the side because
mm.
Kabila can be a little, oh,
That's all of
little,
us. I know.
little self
Your clutter
disclosure there,
can.
but you know the work that I'm trying to do, it's bigger than me. And I hope that other organizations internalize that. It's not about your name being on top. It's about what impact are you making? How many hearts are you mending? How many lives are you saving? You know,
Yeah. No, yeah. What's our everyone has a every we all have a bottom line. I think that's what it is. And but we have to set ourselves in that mature space, because there are some people that will not access over a cup because of just the mindset. There are some people want that will not access community conversations. It's free. You people are like, well, what's a platform for me to market and get my? I'm a nonprofit. I want to tell people about it. You can come on community conversations right now, but again, the ego and like, well, maybe that platform isn't big enough. So but this is where the next level is going to come, and this is where God has been convicting me. We're going to have to be willing to recognize that we can't help everyone, and we're only called to the people who want to be aligned.
you better
And I had
say
to
that.
free myself up with that. And I mean, I did, because special people called me all the time. Can you help? Can you help? Can you help? People will pay for what they want to pay for. So again, that's why I say come to the free things that I offer. I offer free weekly sessions with Karis every Thursday at 11 a.m. You come
All
to that
right.
until you're ready for your mindset and your money to match up with my services.
Okay. We have some more comments. Miss Linda Johnson Frazier says, Q, I am new to Over a Cup as of today. So thanks, Mrs. Cunningham. Larry says, yes, we are connected. My sister, you are amazing. And good morning to Mrs. Clarice Scale. She says, good morning, Kelly K. Shout out to New Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church. Thank you. Tell Reverend I said hello. uh, and thank you everyone again for checking in. Please share this information. Again, Over a Cup will be going live on Tuesday. And if you have a business, if you're a woman, sorry, entrepreneur, you have a product, please contact Mrs. Shunquetta. And we're going to repeat this once we go back on air because we want everyone to um, be reminded of this
Yeah.
information.
Yeah.
But for those of you that are popping in and out, go to Karis Grants and Services on Facebook. Scroll down, find the different links, and also the information is on the KLEK.
Get you some water too, honey.
I have a big water bottle, and it's kind of not attractive. It's like a big.
They're recycling, huh? Like the book is gone.
Yes.
Get it.
I guess since we're off air, it's a big water bottle.
Oh no, that's good. I thought
Yes,
you were talking about like a jug.
I'm trying to keep the skin, like I'm over 40, got to keep the skin glowing.
Oh my word. Did you see Jada Pinkett's video?
No, we're going to talk about that in a minute. We're going back on air. I'm sorry. Um, yeah, I want to look, when I turn 60, I want to still look 40.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. We are back on Community Conversations on Kelly K 102.5 FM. I'm sorry, y'all. I almost missed my mark. We've been having such a great conversation off the air with my special guest, Mrs. Shunquetta Cunningham. I want to thank every single person who's checked in, who's commented, for just supporting Kelly K, period. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But I want to give Mrs. Shunquetta these last moments to recap the workshop and the Over a Cup event that's happening next week. So take it away.
All right. So if you are a nonprofit leader and if you are struggling to raise funds and if you have not initiated a year-end fundraiser, there is still opportunity for you to do so. I encourage you to go to www.consultkharis.com. Under workshops and events, you can register for the workshop that is occurring today at 5:30. But not just you, bring your team because you cannot have successful fundraisers by yourself. And I will show you the game plan to raise up to $3,000. I promise you, you can do it if you're willing to put in the work. So again, that's at www.consultkharis.com, workshops and events, and you will find the flyer information for the workshop tonight on how to raise $3,000 in the next 2 weeks. And on Tuesday, you can join me on Over a Cup Facebook page. I will be live showcasing products and services from Black women entrepreneurs. If you are interested and would like for your product to be showcased, you can inbox me and I can share you the information with you on how to do so. Also, you can go to the Facebook page, Over a Cup Facebook page. There you will see the flyer and the instructions on the next steps to get your product to me. Being that it's Tuesday, of course, that means that it has to be in my hands at least by Monday. And if I need to meet you, we can make those arrangements because I really want to get as many fantastic products and services that I can.
Okay. And I'm just sitting here thinking, because you offer so many wonderful services and you try to provide different events for the community, I need to have you as a regular on the community conversation. So we need to try to get
Let's
something
do
plugged
that.
in.
Let's do that. Yeah,
Um,
let's do that. I'm all for it.
I know life happens and schedules change, but hopefully we can get something set so people will be looking forward to once a month on this day. We're going to be talking all things nonprofits, revenue, how you're impacting your community, things of that nature. because this is not a stagnant conversation. This conversation needs to continue,
Yeah.
because times are changing month to month. Something's changing. There may be some new information released that people need to know about, some new websites or whatever the case may be. So we'll definitely
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
together to
Yeah,
work on
that
that.
sounds good. That sounds good. I already have an idea too. But yeah, I mean that's the thing. And there's so much information out there. I think though one of the um things that we can suffer from, and I can tell you this because I too know this can happen. Sometimes we can get into information overload.
Mhm.
Eventually you're going to have to unpack that and begin to implement that. And so, just be mindful that as much information as you take in, you need to start implementing some plans out. And that way you can
Mhm.
refresh yourself because when you're trying to build your business, you're trying to start a nonprofit. And even after you do that, you're going to always be learning and growing and doing new things. And so at least commit yourself to taking a step of action step, whatever that's in your next plan of action. If you need help with developing that plan of action, that's where again where I come in at. I'm called to be a strategist, and so I'm the consultant that you have an idea, I can show you how to carry and execute that idea out. And that's what we really need because again, you become so overwhelmed with stuff, then you don't do anything at all. So if you have an idea, move forth with it.
All right. And I just thought about, some topics going forward. I am currently I'm in the MA for Communications program at Grand Canyon University. And so I'm just about 1 week, I'm almost done, 1 week. But anyway, in this class that I'm in, organizational communications, we're learning so many different things about how organizations can increase their engagement, their connection with their communities by the messaging they put out. And the one thing that we've been learning is about narratives. And so I
Mm.
want you to talk about elevator pitch, the narrative. What story are you telling about your organization? What are those key things that are you're using or saying to grab the attention of those of your audience? So we're gonna save those nuggets for another conversation. I want you to definitely dive into that.
Awesome. Awesome. Did you want me to answer that now? You said we're going to save it. I think I have a delay.
We're gonna save that. That's gonna be another
Oh, okay.
conversation
Okay, gotcha.
because
Okay,
we only have
yeah.
2 minutes left.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, I can, just have to be true to who I am. And, at the end of the day, I'm a consultant, um, but I truly am and have invested in being a kingdom entrepreneur. And so when you have a gift and when you have an idea, and or you have a business, all of those are seeds and all of those are purposes that God has given you. Align with people that will help you do that, spiritually, professionally, and strategically, because you're responsible for that. And how we steward our businesses is just as important. How we steward everything else in our lives, because that's a responsibility. So anything that you do it all in the spirit of excellence, and then have a structured way to do that.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so very much for checking in. I want to say good morning to Jamie Jones, and Miss Linda says she is speaking the truth. You are speaking the truth. Everything, all the nuggets that you have dropped today. I hope everyone are taking them to heart. They sign up for the workshop tonight, 5:30. They make plans to get you their product by Monday for the live
Mhm.
show on Tuesday. So thank you so much, Mrs. Shunquetta, for joining us today.
Thank you
Um,
all for having me. Thank you, Kaylee Kate. Just thank you all so much for the platform and the opportunity. You really are a blessing to so many people. I'm just one of hundreds. And so thank you all so much.
Thank you. And I want to leave you with my tagline on this Friday. Be intentional with your words, your thoughts, and your actions. Hope everyone has a great Friday. All right, so we are off air, and let me get us off Facebook. So thank you everyone for tuning in to
Thank
Facebook.
you.